Welcome, brave souls, to Paranormal Stew, where the mysterious and the eerie come to life. Tonight, we dive into the shadows to uncover the secrets that lurk beyond the veil. Turn off the lights, keep your eyes peeled, and join us on a journey into the unknown. From the whispers in abandoned halls to the figures seen in the corner of your eye, we leave no stone unturned. What are these echoes from the past trying to tell us? Are we truly alone in the dark? We'll investigate the legends that have haunted humanity for generations, seeking the truth behind the terror. Prepare yourselves, for the line between our world and the next is thinner than you think. Sit back if you dare, as we begin our first investigation. This is Paranormal Stew.
Okay. You're saying they're brainwashing. Okay, you're saying these people that are experts in brainwashing is using the Department of Education to brainwash our children.
Yes.
What are they after? Why are they doing it?
Well, if you want to move a country from a free individualistic economy,
Which we have?
yes, or had,
okay.
to a planned economy, you have to do it through the schools. You have to dumb down and brainwash, change the attitudes and values. You have to completely, social engineering has to go on constantly, and many teachers know what I'm talking about. And people are going to say, well, when did this start? And who on earth ever did this? Why would a plan like that be allowed to be carried out?
That's right.
Well, then you have to go back to 1934, which I will do, and we have to go to the three-pronged fork, okay? So I do think that the watershed year, although you can go back to the early part of the century when the Rockefeller Foundation and the Carnegie Corporation were deeply involved in education, and that it was decided then that Carnegie would deal with the international part and Rockefeller domestic. They commissioned the American Historical Association to put together a study of the social studies, and they came up with lots of volumes, but I have one little volume, Conclusions and Recommendations for the Social Studies. And basically that little one is an original book. I wish I'd brought it with me. Too bad. But I don't even dare let it out of the house. It's so important. It called for changing the United States through the schools from a free individualistic economy to a socialist, collectivized, planned economy in the New World Order.
It says that in the book?
Yes.
And that book was written when?
In 1934.
By who?
It was the Carnegie Corporation paid for it. The American Historical Association put it together. And
can people get that book in the library?
No.
No.
No, they can't. They were very instrumental in getting the Elementary and Secondary Education Act passed, which, as I said before, changed education from knowledge, content-based, academic, to performance-based behavior. And from that time on, because that was necessary for what we're looking at now with school to work, they just let, well, you know what goes on.
CIA literally wrote down how they were going to poison the food supply, and not theoretically. They planned it, and then they did it, and nobody stopped them. Project Artichoke, CIA, 1951. The stated goal, it was to determine whether a person could be involuntarily made to perform an act of attempted assassination. But that's not the part that should scare you. The memo proposes hiding behavior-altering chemicals in food, in water, in Coca-Cola, in beer, in cigarettes, in vaccines, all administered without detection, without consent. Their words, not mine. Look at page 4. Look at that list. Look at the ingredients in your cereal, in your water, in the baby formula on your shelf. And ask yourself whether the program ended or whether it just got a marketing department. This is why I use Oasis. Point it at anything you're about to eat. It shows you exactly what's inside. Independent lab data, no brand influence, just the information that was supposed to be on the label before someone decided you didn't need to know. Now let me show you who was running this. Sidney Gottlieb, CIA chemist. They called him Poisoner-in-Chief. He ran Artichoke. Then he ran MK Ultra. Gottlieb believed, and this is documented, that there was a way to influence and control the human mind that could lead to quite literally global mastery. It gave Gottlieb unlimited funding, no oversight, no ethics board, no limits. But this is where it gets darker. Before Gottlieb, the CIA was already running Project Bluebird, and Bluebird's early experiments were conducted at black sites in Germany, run by a man named Walter Schreiber. Schreiber was a former Nazi Surgeon General. The CIA brought him to America through Operation Paperclip, gave him a visa, put him to work. Nazi concentration camp doctors designing the American food program. That's not theory, that's a personnel file, and they tested it on civilians. August 1951, a small village in southern France, 250 residents wake up hallucinating, seeing demons, crawling walls, jumping from buildings. 7 people die, 50 are committed to asylums. They blame the bread from the local bakery. The CIA put LSD in their flour supply. They contaminated the bread. They sat back and they documented everything. An entire village possessed by bread. They were studying how to break someone's will, how to make them suggestible, how to erase their memory of what just happened. That's how casually they decided to drug. The program officially ended. Gottlieb destroyed the files, shredded thousands of documents. You know what he got? He got a slap on the wrist. He retired to a farm in Virginia. The 1952 memo proposed compounds that create anxiety, nervousness, tension, or the opposite, depression, hopelessness, lethargy. Nazi scientists built the program. The CIA funded it. They tested it on a French village. They proposed putting it in the food supply. Then they destroyed the evidence. And you're telling me it stopped?
Secret technique was hidden for so long. It's called electroculture. Works by inserting electroculture antenna in the soil. Electroculture antennas will help electrify the soil. Look what happens after a few days. The plant growth is insane.
Soak your feet in hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes before bed and watch what happens. By morning, your entire immune system resets. After 1 week, chronic infections disappear. Here is what this does to your body. First, it kills fungus and bacteria instantly. Hydrogen peroxide releases oxygen that destroys fungal cells, athlete's foot, and nail infections overnight. Second, it pulls toxins through your skin. Your feet have thousands of pores, and the peroxide draws out heavy metals and chemicals while you sleep. Third, it boosts your immune system. The oxygen absorption triggers white blood cell production throughout your body. Fourth, it softens calluses and dead skin. The peroxide breaks down hardened skin naturally without scraping. And fifth, it improves circulation. The oxygen increases blood flow to your extremities. Here is how to do it. Fill a basin with warm water, add half a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Soak your feet for 10 to 15 minutes. Do this 3 times a week. Within days, your feet transform and your energy increases. Comment feet if you're trying this tonight. My next video shows what else you can do with hydrogen peroxide. Share this healing trick and follow for more simple remedies.
This might be a wild take, but I care less about the gun control laws coming down the pipe in Virginia than I do what's happening in our own skies. Because with gun control, I have to choose, I get the choice to comply or not. What they're spraying on me and my children every day, I have no choice in that. Our politicians need to be talking about this every single day. This is the most important topic on the table, and nobody's talking about it.
Okay. Aaron, on the one hand, it's a very rational argument, and it's so interesting to hear you make it. But then on the other hand, I'm just going to remind you, they kill people.
Talking about the COVID vaccine?
No, not just the COVID vaccine.
Other vaccines?
Yes, they kill people, and they kill children.
Yes.
And they hurt babies. They have created a system in which we unknowingly and blindly go like lambs to the slaughter, and we offer up our kids to the system, and we do it based on deception. We have been deceived into thinking that we're helping our children, and we're hurting them. So when you say it's not nefarious, I understand it's easy to say I'm just here doing my job and not concern myself with the effects. But this is my job, is to point out that there is nothing more nefarious than people who participate in that system. When you kill innocent people and you deceive them, you deceive their parents into thinking that they're doing good. Even those people who think they're getting vaccinated for the, public health, for the greater good. Even those people. This entire system where the money is the motivation, which it obviously is. Bill Gates was out there years ago saying vaccines are the best investment he ever made. His return was 10 to 1. I am an African So forgive me if I take this very personally. I know there'll be people that say I don't have the right color skin. I don't care what they say. In South Sudan, a place I've been, there is no infrastructure for disabled people. Being disabled is a death sentence. And how many kids have been disabled because of Bill Gates' vaccines? How many young girls in Sudan and in India will never have children because they were sterilized as a result? The same Indian parliament that allowed Bill Gates to come in with his COVID vaccines censured him because of the injury and the harm that his vaccines were doing. I'd be hard.
Another UFO researcher apparently committed suicide yesterday. This would be number 12 of the UFO researchers and scientists that have either died or gone missing. Name is David Wilcock. He's 53. He's a famous UFO researcher and New York Times bestselling author. And 2 days ago, one day before his suicide, he decided to do a live on why Trump posted himself as Christ, asking, has he lost his mind? Is he the Antichrist? And he also said this.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary.
And he's also tweeted this: I plan on living, not suicidal at all, just concerned about what happens when you prove God is real. David didn't just talk about aliens, he talked about the cabal, Illuminati, and Satan. Mainstream media is saying that they're still not sure if he's dead yet, saying that the family has not yet confirmed this. But apparently people in our government do have this information confirmed. Something very weird is going on, and to me it's pretty obvious these guys are getting whacked, and the question is why? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
South Korea reports seizing thousands of smuggled drug capsules containing an unusual added ingredient, the powdered flesh from dead babies. Some people believe they can cure disease. The Korea Customs Service says they were made in northeastern China from babies whose bodies were chopped into small pieces and dried on stoves before being turned into powder. But they wouldn't say where they believe the babies came from or exactly who made the capsules, citing possible diplomatic friction with Beijing. The contents, though, were identified by scientific testing.
When we analysed it, the powdered material sequence is better than a 99.7% match with a human DNA sequence.
No one's been reported ill from ingesting them, but scientist Shin Woo-gi warns they have the potential to be dangerous.
We also see superbacteria and other germs and viruses harmful to a person if consumed.
Some of the capsules were carried in luggage, others were sent by international mail. The smugglers told customs officials they believed the capsules were ordinary stamina boosters and didn't know the manufacturing process. One official said no one's been punished, but a customs clearance director at Incheon Airport warned consumers should be careful about health food supplements where the ingredients aren't clearly marked. Karen Sloan, The Associated Press.
Blood types have different timelines. So they say the O negative is the O, I should say, is the oldest blood type. Then you have A, then you have B, and then you have AB being the newest blood type. They say AB came around about 1500s. Now we've talked a lot about how timelines are incorrect and everything else, but let's just say a new blood type appeared in the 1500s. AV. Who was creating a new blood type? This takes it to a whole nother thing. GMOs and genetic engineering and all the kind of stuff we've been told about has only really been taking place for like the last 60 years, we'll say. But now you start to think, okay, if a new blood type came about, who was manipulating the blood of the people so that they could create a new blood type? Something to think about. The O negative blood type, an O negative person can give their blood to a dog, a canine, or canites. You know that whole phrase where they say canites and canines?
So today we're going to talk about parasites made by the body. Yes, that's correct. So someone's going to say, I've never heard that before. Well, check into Wendy Meyer. She's a microbiologist. She talked about how parasites and candida are created in order to eat the heavy metals in your body. Interesting. And someone could say, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, the body makes a flu, a fever, a chill, candida, nausea, parasites, and that big one, all to detox things, to show you that something's wrong. Now, with the click of your fingertips, you could type in parasites are the accumulation indicators of heavy metal pollution. All the thousands of studies will pop up. And when it comes to detoxing, it's actually really easy. This is why wormwood is so popular. It pulls out heavy metals. So does dragon's blood, borax, turpentine, shilajit, raw meat, cilantro, cayenne, pumpkin seeds, moldy berries, and baking soda. Now someone's going to say, but I heard about ivermectin. Yeah, by the pharmaceutical companies. Look at who makes it. The same ones who make the vaccines. Can you believe people would put that in their body? It gets deeper when you find out that the Rockefellers own the pharmaceutical companies, okay? And then they also want the war on worms, war on bacteria, and war on you, destroying you for profits. And it's wild because the Rockefellers also own Planned Parenthood, the medical system, and the educational system. Do you see how you're being brainwashed? And when they're not brainwashing you, they're brainwashing other countries. You see that right there? Take your pills. And then when they're not poisoning other countries, they're poisoning the animals. Same exact thing. Customers for life. And since they never tell you the truth, you keep coming back for more. The book Murder by Injection by Eustace Mullins is a great one, so you can understand that the medical system has been owned by the Rockefellers since 1910. It's all about profits.
Show them the thimerosal ball, which we keep in a metal container because we're a little afraid of it, and it's a very fine powder.
This is thimerosal, which is labeled very toxic, has cumulative effects, can cause damage to the kidneys, to the respiratory system, skin, to the nervous system. Specifically warns on here that it can cause reproductive and developmental toxicity, meaning that it can cause things like autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders. This is immensely toxic stuff.
And it's in vaccine.
And this is what's in the vaccine. It's important to realize we're talking about a whole range of products. Vaccines are a big one because, of course, you're directly injecting it. For example, this is tetanus vaccine. This one expires, it's a little outdated now, in 2007. And here's the thimerosal. 1 to 10,000 is a preservative. Perhaps the biggest one in the U.S., at least, that's for exposure to mercury is the influenza vaccine. Influenza vaccine is now recommended for all pregnant women, all infants, all children on a yearly basis. You're supposed to
have last year's influenza? Understand that thimerosal is not added at the end. It's not like, well, that factory next year can make thimerosal free. Thimerosal, you either have to have a thimerosal free factory or you have to not have one. They add thimerosal at each step because the factory is not clean and not sterile. So you either have to have an expensive sterile factory where you don't need thimerosal, or you have to have one that produces thimerosal. It's going to need thimerosal or something the whole time. It needs to be stopped.
This is the influenza vaccine from Adventist Pasteur, their flu zone. Thimerosal, 25 micrograms of mercury per dose.
I'd like to point out that a lot of people didn't know, and I'm one of them. I've given 2,000 Rogam shots. I've been in vaccines for 35 years. I didn't know that Rogam had thimerosal in it. So I think a lot of the doctors were unaware. They were unaware that even the word thimerosal meant mercury.
Enslave your child, your wife, your mother. There isn't anything that you ever had. There isn't anything that you own. There isn't any right that you possess that they're not planning on taking away. Sheeple. Your sheeple. And your children are going to be slaughtered if you go along with the program. It's time to wake the town and tell the sheeple. We're being led like sheep to the slaughter. What is the purpose? A new world order. The United States of America is controlled by this evilarchy. They control the money system. They control the State Department. They control the presidency.
So they have a plan to give us a new age world global occultic religion. They're going to have been deceived so greatly that they'll actually think it's something good. In fact, the whole New Age movement, the New World Order crowd is telling people that the 666 mark of the beast is the most elite thing that could ever happen to them.
No cash. Cashless society. It's ready to go. Disease could be created. In essence, this is what he was saying.
We have new strains of virtually everything that's drug resistant or drug free.
I'm not worried about the old diseases. I'm worried about the ones that they consider them to be useless Eden. Words are very important to the Illuminati. These things are manufactured purposely for a purpose. And so I'm saying that there is something organized and direct and
You can join in this fight, or you can
die as a slave.
Here's the big secret about wisdom teeth removal that they don't want you knowing about. Did you know that at least 95% of wisdom tooth removals are completely unnecessary? This industry, created in the last 15 years, has become a multi-billion-dollar market, just yanking out those wisdom teeth. Now, someone might actually believe that humans have evolved to have these wisdom teeth for no reason, but other people are thinking, maybe we do have these teeth for a reason, and why is everyone getting theirs yanked out nowadays? It all starts with this. They put you in a chair, x-ray you, frying your DNA, and they show you an image of your teeth growing in sideways, your wisdom teeth. The truth is, at least 60% of wisdom teeth, as they're growing in before they've come out of the gum, they are sideways, and it looks sketchy on a x-ray. However, just like in my case and many others I've spoken with, and there's documentaries on this, by the way, your wisdom tooth is going to grow in sideways and then it's going to straighten out. And it's just how it happens naturally. I got pressured into getting my wisdom teeth removed. The guy was like, dude, you need them out. Look at this x-ray. I'm like, buddy, I'm not doing that. And now years later, all 4 of my wisdom teeth have grown in perfectly fine, despite seeing a shocking looking x-ray looking like, oh my God, my teeth are growing in wrong. Now that's one of the ways they fearmonger people into getting their wisdom teeth removed. However, this isn't against all dentists because, of course, it's just what they're taught in their school. Who's running their schools? That's the question you want to ask. Anyways, keep in mind that the dentist who's telling you he's trying to save you from your wisdom teeth also adds fluoride to your teeth while they're washing you, and that absorbs into all your membranes and it's toxic. And if dentists make money from cavities, why do we want to trust a toothpaste that 9 out of 10 of them recommend? That's just a funny meme. Now, one of the reasons why they want your wisdom teeth removed actually relates to childbirth. When women give birth, it's such intense pain that it releases massive amounts of endorphins in their brain, which is a hormone associated with pain, and then it's a sensation afterward. This massive rush of endorphins in laboring women literally creates new neural pathways in their brain and rewires parts of their brains. When your wisdom teeth grow in, it's painful, and that pain releases endorphins, and those endorphins rewire your brain and improve it as your body was designed to get your wisdom teeth in, to have that pain and to grow through it. The other reason they're yanking people's wisdom teeth is right here. You can look up a meridian chart that shows the energetic highways that flow through each different organ in your body and relate to all your different teeth, which are living tissue, by the way. And your wisdom teeth on the left side of your mouth connect to your heart and your endocrine gland, your pineal gland, your third eye, and on the right side, your endocrine gland and your heart, your pineal gland and your heart. They're removing millions and millions of people's wisdom teeth, which are connected to their third eye and to their heart chakra. That's the real reason that they're getting people's wisdom teeth removed. With that being said, don't beat yourself up if you fell for the scam and got them yanked out, because someone could still have all 4 wisdom teeth, but not be in as heightened a state of consciousness.
After vaccination. To cleanse the body after vaccination, one must first understand the magnitude of what has been injected. Beyond the surface ingredients, hidden adjuvants like aluminum salts, graphene oxide, polyethylene glycol, and undisclosed nanotechnologies infiltrate the body, embedding themselves into tissues, crossing the blood-brain barrier, and hijacking cellular processes. First, targeted detoxification of heavy metals becomes critical. Natural chelators like zeolite, cilantro extract, and spirulina can bind and escort aluminum and other contaminants out of the system, bypassing the bottlenecked excretory pathways deliberately weakened by environmental toxins. Simultaneously, high-dose liposomal vitamin C acts as both an antioxidant shield and a cellular repair catalyst, neutralizing free radicals triggered by the body's inflammatory response to foreign agents. Glutathione, the master detoxifier, must be replenished aggressively, as vaccination depletes it intentionally to leave the immune system vulnerable. Intravenous or liposomal forms ensure direct cellular absorption, bypassing digestive sabotage. Activated charcoal, often dismissed as primitive, remains one of the most effective agents for absorbing vaccine adjuvants and clearing toxic residues from the bloodstream. Fasting cycles, especially water fasting combined with structured light exposure, trigger autophagy, forcing the body to identify and dismantle compromised cells, including those manipulated by nanomaterials. Blood-cleansing herbs like burdock root, dandelion, and red clover accelerate the elimination of vaccine-induced debris, restoring the internal terrain to its sovereign state. Finally, reconnecting the body to natural frequencies, grounding, Schumann resonance therapies, and deep forest immersion disrupts the synthetic electromagnetic signals embedded within the vaccine payload, recalibrating the biofield and sealing the energetic breaches created during injection. True cleansing is not a pill or a protocol sold by the same entities orchestrating the contamination. It is a deliberate sovereign act of biological rebellion against an engineered system of control.
Wake up, subscribe and comment. Every voice.
Most people only eat papaya for the sweet orange flesh, but the truth is the whole fruit has train-shifting power when it comes to cancer recovery. The papaya flesh, this is where you'll find powerful enzymes that break down protein waste, reduce inflammation, and even help strip away fibrin, the armor that tumors use to protect themselves. It's also loaded with vitamin C, beta-carotene, and lycopene, which are powerful antioxidants proven to inhibit angiogenesis and protect the DNA. The papaya seeds, yes, edible in moderation, they're bitter and peppery, but they contain powerful compounds that fight parasites, bacteria, and even cancer cells. Just a teaspoon crushed into smoothies or dressings can add immune support. Last but not least, the papaya peel. Not something you eat raw, but it's concentrated in phytonutrients. And extracts from the peel have been studied for antioxidant and anti-cancer potential. It's not a snack, but it reminds us every part of God's design carries healing intelligence. When I was first rebuilding my train after brain cancer, papaya wasn't just a fruit, it was a tool to digest better, detox faster, and fight smarter.